Hey everybody in YouTube land, this is your friend, ECW fan, the collector. And I'm back again with another latest comic book pickups. The last big volume of 2023. Yeah, it's a big one. This is going to actually show some books that I got back in April. If you haven't seen them already, if you have, I may have showed them in a video. I don't know yet. Haven't really looked, but I'm going to go ahead and show them. Plus, I'm going to show books that I picked up at Corey's shop, at the Cult, and I'm going to show books I picked up from Tom's shop. Sorry, I'm adjusting my legging. That I picked up at Tom's shop in Beckley that you saw with me and Eddie and Chris. So here we go. It's time to show some stuff off. Let's get this party started. Now, this is back in April. We're going to flash back. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. In April, we went and seen Evil Dead, me and Eddie and Chris. So, basically, I picked up some books at this shop. Only one from this one shop in Virginia, because I didn't really see anything else I needed. Plus, they didn't have a sale on new books, which really surprised me because, after so many months, why not have a sale on them? Anyhow, I picked up Master of Kung Fu 19, Shang-Chi, Fighting Man-Thing. So here we go. If they had a sale on the new books, I probably would have picked up a good bunch because I'm filling in new books that way with Batman, and I'm like, why buy new books off the stands? They're expensive as crap. Why do that? Save myself some money. It's about the money. Anyhow, I picked up Flash number 777 at one shop. He had a dollar bin for some new stuff. It wasn't a lot of new stuff that was in this dollar bin, but I went ahead and picked through some issues, and this was one of them. This is Flash versus Eclipso. I've never really seen this fight before, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. I'm gonna get that crap. Can't see the S word. I'm trying to be PG. Anyhow, I picked up Wonder Woman number 792 with her versus the Cheetah, who is one of her arch rogues. So I went ahead and got that. I was like, get the villains, fights, and stuff that you want. There's no need to pick up every issue of titles you really aren't interested in. And I was like, this looks like a pretty cool deal with her bending the bars to get to the Cheetah. I'm like, man, this looks like it's gonna be a good issue. I love good covers like that. I just hope the art inside is good, because usually you have a good story and then you have crappy art. Now, Eddie recommended this one. This one came from the shop with the Shang-Chi, and I decided, I said, I'll go ahead and buy this one because it's got a great cover, and it was cover price. It was basically the Immortal Hulk versus the Avengers, and this is a cool cover, man. Look at that cover. I'm trying to hold the glare off of it. That's why I'm holding it sideways like that. That's pretty nice. Eddie recommended that one. He found me that one. Now, like I said, I'm trying to pick up issues of Batman in my collection because I'm a huge Batman fan. Love Batman. Eddie will tell you I have a huge collection of Batman at that time. But in 2021, I stopped getting Batman. I stopped getting all new books. And I was like, I'm tired of it. Tired of getting new books. That's not worth it. I don't want to drive 30-some minutes to a store or 40-some minutes to my closest store and get a Batman title. I just don't agree with the $5 or $6 price. So I went ahead and said I'm going to get some from shows, cons. I'm going to get some from back issue bins. Once stores decide to put these in the dollar bins, and that's what I did here. I went ahead and got Batman 131 with this Chip Zdarsky run. And I got Batman 134 from the Zdarsky run. Now, I've heard this run ain't that good, so I'm kind of happy I didn't buy these new. So a couple weeks ago, 3 or 4 give or take, I went over to the Cult shop, and like I said, I think I might have said at the start of the video, there's a bunch of good keys coming at the end of this video, and I got a key from that shop, and I went in and I decided to get a couple of issues here, and I picked up for $1, I picked up this extra size issue of Wolverine number 900, and at the time, they had an event going on, 900, the 900th issue. And they made jokes with Deadpool about it. And Deadpool actually had a title called, I think it was Deadpool Team Up. It was $8.99. And it was started $8.99, go backward. And he would reference books that, talking about team ups that he had, all these, and they didn't even exist. And that was what the fun thing about it. And I do remember one of the local shop guys was talking. He's like, man, are they overdoing Deadpool? Because I don't think he liked Deadpool getting all these books. And I was like, hey, man, it could be worse. Could be worse. Because this was in like 2000s, early 2010s. I said, it could be worse, man. If this is the 1990s, Deadpool would be about 6 books a month. So it could always be worse. Speaking of the 1990s, at Corey's shop, I picked up The Hands of the Mandarin, a trade paperback. Yep, and this is actually the last major Iron Man story, I believe. The last major Iron Man crossover story. This story would end about 7 months later, they would do the Crossing with Iron Man. This had him teaming with War Machine and Force Works at the time. And, yeah. It actually crossed over to Marvel Comics Presents, too. So, basically, the story became a big story. It became a big crossover story. I think it's like 8 or 9 parts to it. But, hey, look at the original price on this trade paperback. That's kind of wild, man. That's kind of wild to think that I got this one for that. But thanks, Corey. A couple weeks later, I was going through my local town, cruising along, and I look over and I see thrift stores open again. Now, our thrift store has a record of opening and closing so many different times. Sometimes it'll be open, sometimes it'll be closed. I was like, I got to go in there. I got to see if you got any good movies. Because I've picked up some good movies and games there this past year or two. They've had sales. So I walked in, and they were selling books for 50 cents because I didn't see no movies. And I picked up a couple nice ones. And this has nothing to do, these two don't have nothing to do with comics, but I need to show them. Well, actually, one does have something to do with comics, and the other one does too. But this one doesn't. This is The Great American West by Reader's Digest. This is a hardback book for 50 cents. It has stories about the West, as you can see. There you go. And I like stories about the West, and I went ahead and picked this one up. This will be worthwhile. This looks good. This looks good, as they say. Now, I didn't realize this was John Byrne. I did not realize it, because he uses his middle initial in this. I didn't realize it until I got home, and I'm like flipping through it, and I look on the back, and it's like from the writer of Man of Steel, of DC Comics. I was like, what? John Byrne wrote a novel called Fear Book? Yeah, it's Fear Book. And I love that cover. That's the only reason I picked it up. I said, man, that's a very eerie, creepy book to have. That would be nice. I gave Eddie one of my horror books. I think we made a trade for it. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get this one. And finally, the last one I picked up for 50 cents. And this one flashes back for me. As a guy growing up back in the 80s and 90s, and I guess into 2000 possibly, there was one way to get into comics, and it was called the Gateway. It was Archie Comics. These Archie double digests would be sitting at the cashier, right when you was checking out, right there at the checkout. These would be sitting there by the TV guides. These were gateways for kids to get into comics. Now, I was looking at the way, I was like, man, it don't have a date on it. And then I looked inside, and I realized it came from the mid-90s because it has an ad for Weird Science. So for 50 cents, I picked up an Archie's digest, double digest. Archie's Pals and Gals, which is nice. So we're getting to the first vlog now. The first vlog that me and Eddie and Chris went to, the movie we went to see Saw 10. And we didn't know Tom's shop was there. I know he had moved his shop, but when Eddie's the one who spotted it, hey, there's an antique shop. Stop in there. And we were surprised because there was Tom's shop, Comic Castle. And he's like, wow, man. I told Tom, I know you moved, but I didn't know you moved this close. And Tom was friendly as can be, man. One of the best guys to deal with. as you saw in the vlogs, man, he'll sit down and talk to you about comics because he collects too. Yeah, he's knowledgeable too about comics. And he knows when there's crap. And he kept me a deal because this is what I'm going to show you next is pure, unadulterated crap. Because there's no mistaking it. What I'm going to show you on these next couple issues. Because this series is one of the worst. We're going to go back to the 1980s. DC had put out Crisis. Crisis was rolling along. You know, DC was rolling along after Crisis on Infinite Earths. They put out Legends after that, the next year. They started doing big events each year because of Crisis and Legends. So they went to Alan Moore and said, hey, look, we want to do a new series. We want to come up with something. So he came up with, I'm going to make sure that light stays on. He wants to come up with Twilight of the Gods. And DC saw the proposal and they thought it was just too extreme. They thought it was too extreme. One of the ideas, I think, was Superman and Supergirl are in a relationship, I believe, possibly. I think that was one. Or Mary Marvel and Captain Marvel. It's like the world had fiefdoms, I believe. Superman had part of the world. Captain Marvel and Mary Marvel had another patrol. It was just like, it was weird. And so they pretty much 86 this. I might be wrong about the Supergirl and Superman. I knew there was one relationship in it was just you just did a double take on. I don't know if it was one of the Marvels or superhero characters, but I'm trying to think. Anyhow, Twilight was deemed too extreme. Because we needed, come up with something else. What they came up with was Millennium. And Millennium sucked. Yes, Millennium sucked. It was just awful. It was not good. Basically, the story is that any character, some of their friends or allies could be Manhunters. The Manhunters could have got to them and influenced them. Like Lana Lang, I believe, was a Manhunter. Well, if I upset anybody that's follows comics and reads Millennium and likes that series, please tell me why. I mean, I'd like to know because I've read it and I didn't have none of the issues. I just read it online. I read it online a long time ago, and I was like, I'm glad I never did get this series. And it's been 30 some years. I finally got it. Here's Millennium number 3. Here is Millennium number 4, which to me is the best cover of them all with the God, I can't think of her name. With the yeah, I think this is one of the best covers. Yeah, I think this is one of the best covers. I like it. I got Millennium number 5. And the Guardians and the Zamorans, I believe, were getting ready to go off and get it on. I think it was one of the premises, like, yeah, we're gonna go off to a planet and get it on, son. Because nothing says hot like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I believe that was one of the premises of Millennium. I believe that was it, and the Manhunter thing. Here is Millennium number 6. I was ready to say Manhunter. Here's the Dreaming. Oh yeah, and there's a bunch of new characters that was introduced. They was considered the keys to next evolution of man, like God, I can't think of pronounce his name, but it led to a new series called the New Guardians, which introduced the only character that really was big, and he only showed up one time. That was Snowflame, and his powers were from cocaine. And Eddie, you can thank me for finding that issue, buddy. I know it's the most famous issue. And Millennium number 7. So I had 3 issues of this series. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and finally get it all. I'm going to get all Millennium. I'm going to complete that because I'm a completionist. And I know I'm awful to do that because I'm like, why? Why would I do this? Why do I do the things I do? Torture. Anyway, I picked up something that's actually good. Doom Patrol 30 from Grant Morrison's run. And I'm actually close to getting that run of it finished. I think it's 40-some issues, and this was a good run for Doom Patrol. I love that run of Doom Patrol by Grant Morrison. I'm going to work on his Animal Man next. Every run I want to get is classic. And this book is not in great shape. This was pretty much a reader copy. It's Action Comics number 330. And I think this might be the first appearance of Satanus. I don't know. I don't have to look at it. I'm thinking. I don't know. So a week later, me and Eddie and Chris planned to go see Exorcist. Well, Chris got sick and couldn't go. He couldn't go do the mission. So we went over to Tom's shop, me and Eddie did, and he was going to pick up some book there. And he I think he had second thoughts on doing it at the time. He said, and I think he went back weeks later and done the deal on it. But at the time, we was looking at these books, and we stopped at Beaver Creek first. And I'm glad we did, because Eddie found me this in a section. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Ultimate Visual History. And this actually talks about the complete history of the Ninja Turtles. It has it has everything about Mirage Studios, and it actually has, this is what he, he said, he was looking, he said, man, I hope it's got it in here. I hope it's got it in here. And I said, Eddie, it's got it in there. And he pulled it out. It is a reprint of the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How cool is that shit? I'm going to cuss on that one. How cool is that shit? This is going to go on my shelf, baby. This is going to go on my shelf. And it feels funny, but Eddie said that's because it's got that book thing in here. It's trying to adjust to it. But yeah, this is awesome find. Thank you, Eddie. And this retail for $50 when it first came out. Actually, I'm wrong. Yeah, $50 when it first came out. And I didn't even pay a fraction of that. It was really nice. Really nice. So then we went over to Tom's. And Tom, like I said, friendly. He sat with us in that part 2 of that vlog, as you could tell. And we chatted comics. And he told some funny stories about an issue he had. And some of the pickups he's had. And he asked me, he said, what's your most key pickup? And I couldn't answer him because I really didn't know, because I've had so many books. And it's just on my mind, probably my Batman run's my favorite. And last year I made a big hell of a big pickup off Larry. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and show some stuff off now. I picked up Comics Arena, which this is a fanzine. And it actually got George Perez. And I was like looking in here. I was like, I hope the poster's in here. I hope the poster's in here. And I was like, please be in here. Please be in here. Well, the George Perez poster's in here. And me and Eddie met George Perez at Heroes Con. And I think it's once or twice. And George Perez was one of the nicest guys. One of the most friendliest people in comics. I want to say that. And his loss was a big one. Jim Shooter talked about him, how good he was. I don't think anybody has a bad thing to say about George Perez. I've never seen it. Because the guy was friendly. And he sketched in my thing, and I'll keep that. And it's such a shame, he's a great artist. He did Teen Titans, he did Wonder Woman, and I took him to Justice League issues and he did the Avengers with Kurt Busiek. Yeah, great run. Rest in peace, George Perez. Moving on, speaking of Avengers, I picked up this one. Eddie found me this one. And I've seen this cover so many times on comics and stuff. The Reaper and the Robot, Avengers West Coast, number 65. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I picked this one up. Eddie said, hey, if I'm picking up something crazy, you got to pick up something crazy. So I picked up Dead Clown number 1 from Malibu. And Malibu is just, it's one of those studios that, we're always sitting there thinking, like, when is it coming back? When are they going to use some of the properties? Because Disney owns Malibu. They've owned, you would think some of the properties. But I heard it's due to the creators. Like, they have to work a deal with the creators to bring some of those properties back. It's so tied up with the creators. So that's why you never see Prime, and you're not going to see Ultra Force and stuff like that. I picked up Captain America number 370, which feels in a home in my issue run. I picked up Iron Man number 247, which shocked me because I had to look. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've got some of these issues of Iron Man there. But I didn't have this one, and I'm kind of happy because Tom had it. And I love that Spider-Man symbol at the bottom because I was like, is he in this issue? And I was like, oh no, that's just the little small letterhead deal. I thought that was kind of cool. I picked up UFO flying saucers for the pure creepiness of this. Look at this thing. Look at how creepy this is. Look at that. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to watch the glare. I picked up 2 issues of Watchmen, the 1986 series. And even though I've got the trade paperback and I've got the movie and everything, I wanted to get issues 3 and 4. And he didn't have no more issues. Tom didn't have no more issues in there. I looked. I was hoping that he would have all the way to 12 because I was going to pick up all 12 issues. I was going to go ahead and complete. I needed 11 issues. I was going to get 11 more issues of Watchmen and complete them. There's always next time. I picked up Alf Annual #1 off Eddie. He's the one that found it. He said, hey, look, it's Alf Annual #1. He said, I thought you'd like it. And on the back, they have an ad for G.I. Joe, American Hero. Yeah. I picked up, now these 2 issues here is something I've been looking for a while. And of all the unlikely titles to follow that tie into the Mutant Massacre, nobody remembers the Mutant Massacre ran in the late 80s in the Uncanny X-Men and crossed into Thor, I believe. Well, it also crossed into Power Pack with X Factor involved. Yeah. Mutant Massacre this is number 36 and number 35. 36, 35. And it ties in. And you would think it's kind of weird the Power Pack would be involved in the Mutant Massacre. I mean, it's pretty weird to see that, but hey, it happens. Now, Eddie found me this one, and this is Count Duckula #1. Eddie found me Count Duckula. Count Duckula. Well, while I was at Tom's, I was going through some issues there, and they had a bunch of Teen Titans, and they had a bunch of Superman, Tom did, with Action Comics and Superman and different series. Well, he also had some of the classic 70s and 80s Superman. And the 70s issues, Tom was really good on those. And, I think he said, this collector basically want these Superman issues. And Superman number 367, that fills in a run. Because I'm building up a run of Superman and Batman. I want the main titles. I picked up Batman number 368, which Eddie has. Eddie has this issue. I picked up Superman number 259, which little kid's blasting Superman with his crutch. There you go, Superman. That's what you get for that Action Comics 457 crap. You remember, that's what you get. Somebody's going to Google that now. I got Superman number 353, which Eddie says he didn't have, and it's got Lois Lane on the cover. And I got Superman number 325. This cover. So, yeah, some good Superman issues. And, they're all classic issues of Superman, and that's what I really wanted. I wanted to, to fill in my run of Superman, and Tom was good to help me with that. I was looking for some Batman. If he had some Batman in the 200s and 100s, I probably would have went through and tried to get a bunch of issues off of it. But it's always next time. I picked up Deadpool at number 4. And I had 2 doubles of this. And I gave one of my doubles to my cousin, Nikki. Well, this used to book a little bit because it was Deadpool versus the Hulk. So I went ahead and got that one. I picked up What the #1 from Eddie. He found this one for me. What the? I picked up this issue. Now, Eddie looked in a section of books, and I didn't get to look in it, but I'm pretty sure there could be issues there. I picked up Star Trek number 76, and I may have the final issue of Star Trek. I'll have to look, but these issues book for some decent amount, the last 4 or 5 issues of Star Trek and Star Trek The Next Generation. I guess the book was dying and the print run was going down. That's probably a reason. I love final issues, so I'm trying to find those issues. Now, this one is actually, I think, the first appearance of Valerie Reed. Valerie Richards. What if the Fantastic Four's second child had lived? Well, they brought her. They made her live in the late '90s. They brought her back, and she's still around, I believe. So I just hedge my bets in case they bring her into the Marvel universe. Now, here's one I picked up. I picked up X-Force #1 with the bag. Now, there's a lot of people asking me, what's the deal with getting the bag? I've seen some people say this is actually more valuable now because a lot of people open these bags. And I went ahead and got it. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get X-Force #1 like that. You know, and I went ahead and got it from Tom. I could have got this from a guy that has a local shop, but he done sold it by accident. So now we're going to get into the keys. We're at the keys, Eddie. The keys. The keys, baby. Now, remember when I talked about Corey's shop and the key there? Oh, yeah. This was the key issue. I picked up Spawn #9, the first appearance of Angela, for $1. Can't believe it. Yeah, I didn't pay that price tag for it. It was in the dollar bin, and I went ahead and picked it up. So, it was kind of cool that he had that there. So that's another copy of Spawn, first appearance of Angela. I believe currently she is Thor's sister, at last I saw, but I ain't really follow Marvel that much. Now, Eddie found me this one. And this is actually, surprisingly, a hole in my run of Detective. It was Detective Comics 5.99. And I didn't know this, but this is the first appearance of Descartes. And somebody that works with Ra's al Ghul and stuff. So I went ahead and picked this one up. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I need that issue. So I found a copy of this, and there's actually another copy in Tom's shop, and I went ahead and picked it up. Because you never can have too many first appearances. Because I've got this one already. It's the first appearance of Bloodsport, Superman #4. And this one was a little bit tracking a little bit back when Idris Elba was playing Bloodsport. So I went ahead and got that. Now, the last two is what Eddie found me, and I'll say the best for last. But, man, I can't believe he found that one. I got Transformers #9, the first appearance of Circuit Breaker. Circuit Breaker is a character, the rights are held by Marvel, I believe. That's why she's not appeared in any Transformers books outside Marvel. And I think she's in limbo. Well, Circuit Breaker, I believe, was, like I said, it was like she was a Marvel creation brought into the Transformers. It's just really weird, you know, how these things are. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe she has appeared, but I don't think she has. First Circuit Breaker. And Eddie found me this one. This was the last one he found me, and this is probably the best key out of it. And he told me, he said, man, this is rare. He said, I can't believe they've had this. And Tom priced it reasonable. You know, I'm a big fan of Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken. And this is the Adventures of Snake Plissken #1. This was his first appearance in comics. I was very happy that Eddie found me this. Yeah, old Snake Plissken. And I don't know how much this retails for, but I'm very happy for it. I'll look it up later, but yeah, I'm very happy with this. Now, that's the haul. That's the last big one of 2023. I hope you enjoyed this volume. I enjoyed all these books. I'm going to go lay down now. I'm tired. I've been wore out from listing all these books in these videos. So, I want to thank you for watching, and hope you like and support the channel. Drop a like, drop a comment, tell me I picked up some crap with Millennium. Till next time, thanks for watching.